responsible for that particular regulation, they are the best person to do it. They have started having a regulation and they have to see one impact, whether cost and benefit, and give it to the minister or it is to see it has to be altered or it has to repeat or you want to continue.
Who will be the accountable body to conduct this kind of reaction?
If you specify exactly which institution, we can continue something on that.
As I mentioned to you earlier, if you take the animal disease quarantine system, this some particular organization is mandated to do the regulatory aspects. Meantime, there are some particular developing agencies which are responsible for the regulation of that particular quarantine, but it is not mandated. Did you get my point?
Yeah.
If I may try to clarify, so there's one agency that sets the regulation and there's another agency that monitors the implementation of the regulation.
But this is common in many countries. It's common and it shouldn't be a problem in principle, because the institution that is responsible for the legal instrument, if they are going to review the legal instrument, they should be the ones starting the RIA. Meaning that they need to engage with institutions that implement the regulation to get relevant information to do the RIA. So, in many countries, the one that takes the lead is the one responsible for the legal instrument, but it requires to coordinate with additional institutions. Because quite a lot of the information that is going to be required to do the analysis will come from the other institutions that are implementing or that may be responsible for certain aspects of the legal instrument. So, we say that impact assessment is also a tool for coordination, because it forces these institutions to sit together and analyze together if the regulation should continue the way it is, it should be reviewed, how it should be reviewed. I mean, there is no way they can escape and not be part. But what matters is how your RIA system is. Because if your RIA system does not promote that coordination, institutions will not sit together. So you need also that oversight at highest levels of the government, to ensure that they sit together and that they work together for that. So this is why your RIA system, the governance of the RIA process, needs to be correctly in place. If you leave it up to the institutions to sit together, sorry, most probably they won't sit together.
Can I add to that?
Sure. I wanted just to give at least another question to the public, but yeah, please.
Yeah. In fact, the root cause of this country in Sri Lanka, we have disintegration of subject and misalignment also within ministry sometimes on certain areas. So each of these, if the subject is disintegrated, so many organizations come up with regulations on the same subject, and they are not aligned as well. I can quote examples, but don't reflect on doing that. So the same subject, different authorities are issuing different regulations, which are having contradictions.
But that happens in other countries. I don't think it's something exclusive of Sri Lanka. It happens in other countries. It's not uncommon. You have other type of mechanisms to ensure that coordination, alignment is conducted. In many countries there are legal departments that are very strong on ensuring that there are no contradictions. For instance, right at the end of the process and you come up with a legislation or a regulation that is contradictory to something that it already exists. There are, for instance, in Brazil, you have the legal department at the at the president's office, which is going to say, hey, what's going on here? Who is mandated to do this, right? And tries to sort out this type of misalignment before they pass a regulation. So there are different instruments that can be used, but in principle, RIA could be one that could help addressing that problem.
I just want to add something before we give the floor to the next question. And it's, as I mentioned